Welcome to Power User with Crash Long Johns. That's me. Today's topic is SharePoint Create a Site with a rating of Novice. We'll cover how to create a SharePoint site and also cover the different SharePoint sites possible. So let's get started and jump over to the computer. Now that we're over at the computer, we're going to have you go to office.com. This will bring up the Office 365 login. Now, for those of you that don't have access to a business account, that you're able to have the Office 365 and SharePoint and Teams and all of the extras, just at the end of this video, I'll cover real quick the Microsoft Developer Program that'll allow you to be able to get access to a developer program, which is free, to be able to play around and learn some of this as we go through the videos. And again, it's a free program. It's not utilized for production stuff that you're gonna push out there across, organizations, but it is allowing you just to be able to learn and get used to all the information and SharePoint and other aspects that we'll be covering, like Power Automate, Power Apps, MS Teams, MS Forms, etc. So, all right. So once you log in, and again, if you already have a company that has Microsoft Office 365 and you're able to access it, you'll log in utilizing your credentials. But once logged in, you'll get to the Office home. Usually it'll say good morning, good evening, etc. And on the left-hand side, you'll see the different apps, and we got SharePoint. If you don't see SharePoint as an option in your app, at the very bottom, you'll see the 3 squares and this little triangle, not triangle, excuse me, diamond. You can click on that and you'll be able to see the different apps, but I'm going to go ahead and select SharePoint. Now that we're at SharePoint, you're going to have create a site, create a news post. In this case, we're going to create a site. Now, if you don't see create site, that might mean that your corporation or your company isn't allowing everyone to be able to create a site. If that's the case, then you probably just need to see what the actual procedures are for your area to be able to have a site created, if that's an intake form for IT to create you one. But if it is open where you're able to create a site, what you're going to do is you're just going to select create a site. This then opens up a box that's going to have create a site. You're going to have 2 different site options. You got team site and a communication site. Now, team site is going to be share documents, have conversations with your team, keep track of events, manage tasks, and more with a site connected to a Microsoft 365 group. If you're not aware, Teams and SharePoint, basically, SharePoint's like kind of the backbone of a lot of things within Teams, OneDrive. It's all interconnected to be able to make everything work, and Microsoft kind of uses SharePoint as its backbone. Now, again, team site, more of that collaboration, think of team. Now, communication site, as it also says here, publish dynamic, beautiful content to help people in your organization to keep them informed, engaged on topics, events, or projects. How I think of it, like with communication site, I think of it like the New York Times. New York Times is pushing information to their readership. They're pushing the news, pushing information. Now, I can't go into New York Times and change anything or collaborate with them because, again, they're pushing the information. That's like a communication site. We're pushing information. Mostly it's readership. There might be a few editors or owners that are able to update things. But again, overall, it's pushing information to your readership. At this time, let's go ahead and create as a communication site. I'm going to click on communication site. And for choosing a design, you got 3 designs. You got topic, showcase, or blank. Blank is just going to be empty slate. For this case, just to kind of show everything, we're going to do topic. Going to make a site name. Going to be test video 2 com. Site if I can type, and showing com site. We're going to go ahead and hit finish. Once this does its thing, it creates the site. So now you have a site that is created, a communication site that's created. And now within the site, as you see at the top, you got your navigation, pages, documents, site contents, which we'll get more into that in future videos. Right now, we're just mainly focusing on creating your site. And then we'll also talk about in future videos also about web parts, but this already has some web parts laid out for you. Top is a hero web part, a news web part, events web part, and documents web part. And again, we'll get more into what those web parts are. As you see, right now you got a communication site established. You're the site owner, and we'll also review in the next video about settings, which is going to be about basic permissions, and also looking at some changing the look. Now let's go back to SharePoint. Let's do one more. So let's create a site, and let's look at the team site. So we're going to give it a name. This one we're going to do test video 2, and we're doing team site. All right, got that. Gives us a group email address, site address, testing, showing team site. Now, privacy settings, you can either do private, only members can access the site. So in this one, you can set actually who the members are, or public, anyone in the organization can access the site, which means, hey, they can join it. Don't have to get permission to join. They can just be a part of it, and it's kind of open. In this case, we're just going to keep it private because, again, for the most part, it's usually going to be a private team site because you're only going to want your team members and you are the one collaborating, or maybe it's a project that only you need to collaborate. So we're going to go ahead and hit next. At this point, you can add additional owners. So again, creating the team, you'd be the owner until you add or delegate other owners with permissions. And you can also add members at this time, so you can add your fellow colleagues. And we're going to go ahead and hit finish. So right now we got our team site established. And so let me go back to SharePoint here real quick. And let's go ahead and pull up that com site. So now we got the team site, com site. As you see for a communication site, we have our navigation is going up the top, left to right, and horizontal. And for a team site, we actually have the navigation is on the left-hand side, going up and down vertically. That's again, kind of a couple little differences there. So now that we've seen how to create a team site and a communication site, what we'll do in future videos, we're going to get into, again, some of the SharePoint settings, basic permissions, themes, and then even further down the road, we're going to talk about SharePoint pages and also talking about those web parts that we mentioned. So at this time, as I mentioned, let's actually look into that developer account. So right now, if you go to the developer.microsoft.com and /en-us/Microsoft-365/dev.-program, they'll take you to this page. And basically, it's join the Microsoft 365 Developer Program today. What it does, it gives you a free sandbox, tools, and other resources you need to build solutions for the Microsoft 365 platform. And again, as I mentioned in my videos, I'm not sponsored or affiliated with Microsoft. This is just things that are out there that are free that can help you out while you're watching these videos, and even picking up other things from other Microsoft valued professionals that have out there the MVPs with their YouTube videos. That developer, what it does is in the sandbox, what it's doing is it includes 25 user license for development purposes. You access core Microsoft 365 workloads, capabilities, all Office 365 apps, including SharePoint, OneDrive, Outlook, Teams, Planner, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and more within the Power Platform. So Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI. So again, this is a nice way if you don't have access currently that you could actually create your own, and that way you'll be able to follow along and do some testing of your own and learn as you go. So thank you for stopping by. And until next time, keep learning.